Hello and welcome to Maths by SAS. This is my fourth lesson of application of laws of logarithm in numerical calculation. Book is Punjab Textbook Board's book Science Group and exercise 3.4. We are discussing students question number 1 and 7th part, and question is that we have to use the log tables to find or evaluate the given numbers. For better understanding of this exercise, you should have the good idea about what is the log of the number, how to find the log, what is characteristic and mantissa, and what is the scientific notation of the number, and how to find the antilog, and then the laws of logarithm, the multiplication and division law of logarithm, and the power law of logarithm and chain based law. If these points are not clear to you, you must have to watch the basic lessons for better understanding of this exercise, because lessons of mathematics require continuous integration and practice of lesson with the previous lesson. If previous link is weak, the next lesson will also be affected. So, keeping this point in the mind, that the students are clear about how to take the log, how to take the antilog, and what are the laws of logarithm. We are going to solve these two parts of the exercise 3.4. Recall my previous lesson that how to begin the question, but before that let me confirm the data, that this is 83 multiplied by cubic root of 92 upon 127 multiplied by fifth root of 246. Okay. So, first of all, what we are going to do is that we have to suppose the number is x. I will be going really slow, because at this stage students of class 9 are too young and they are finding this exercise difficult, so that they can watch and understand these all questions properly during their summer break. Okay. Now, let me focus on the question. X multiplied by the cubic root of 92 and then 127 multiplied by fifth root of 246, fifth root of 246, and then what we have to do, we have to take the log on both sides. Log of 83 multiplied by the cubic root of 92 upon 127 multiplied by the fifth root of 246. Okay. So far we have done nothing. We have just taken log on both sides, and now it's the time to observe the question carefully. Question is in form of the fraction, and the numerator and denominator both are containing the terms which are multiplied together, and one of the term is having the power as well. One of the term is having the power as well. So, we have to apply how many laws? First of all, we have to apply the division law of logarithm. Then on the numerator and denominator, we have to apply the product law of logarithm and the power law as well. So, let's try to understand each part of the question one by one, or what further we can do is, let me perform one more step here, that 83 multiplied by 92, and this is the cubic root. Let me write it in form of fraction, and then the fraction will not begin from here. I will have the bracket. And this fraction is inside 127 multiplied by 246 and the fifth root 1 by 5, and let me extend this bracket as well. Log on this and log on this. Okay. Now, log of x. First of all, I am going to apply the division law on the fraction. So, it will become log 83 multiplied by cubic root of 92 1 by 3 minus log 127 multiplied by 246 and the fifth root. Now on the fraction I have applied one of the law, and then you can see that each bracket is first containing the product of the terms. So which law? Log of m multiplied by n, multiplication law, log of m multiplied by n equals to log m plus log n, log n. So what I am going to do, I will be converting this product expression into the sum of individual logs, log 92 raised to power of 1 by 3 and then minus let me keep the bracket, log 127 plus log 246 raised to power of 1 by 5. Now here in the beginning I have applied the product law of logs, but if we look at the second part of first bracket or the second part of second bracket, that is containing the power as well. So I have to apply log of a raised to power of n, that I have to bring the index down, log n log a. So what I will be doing, I have to write it log 83 plus 1 by 3 log 92 minus log 127 and again I have to bring down the power 1 by 5 and log 246. Till now we have done nothing, we are just applying the laws of logarithm, log 83 plus 1 by 3 log 92 minus log 127 and 1 by 5 minus, because I have to apply this minus sign, always recheck your working, I have to apply this minus sign on the whole bracket. Okay, now let me draw the line here, let me draw some line here so that my students should not mix the working with other part of the question. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to take the individual logs, and okay, the first number is log of 83, log 83. Recall the rule that in order to take the log, what we are going to do, log of any number consists of two parts, characteristic and mantissa. And for the characteristic purpose, what we have to do, that how many digits are there in the integral part or before a decimal. Here we have 2 digits, so the log of characteristic of this number will be 1, and for mantissa purpose I need to make 4 significant figures, as the question is containing only 2 digits. So I have to locate, students, what I have to locate 83 in the column of 0, and that gives me 9191, and as we have to write the mantissa in decimal form, so 0.9191. okay, I hope you are clear about this. Log of 83 is 1 point, yes I can come 1.9191. okay, moving to the second number, plus 1 by 3 and log 92. Again we have a 2-digit number, log 92, characteristic and mantissa. Question is having the number is having 2 digits, so we will have, either we can convert it in the scientific notation, that multiply and divide it by 10. So power of 10, 92 divided by 10 multiplied by 10, this will turn in form of the a, and 10 raised to power of 1. Characteristic is 1, and for the mantissa purpose, what I have to do, I have to locate 92 in the table column of 0. I have to go in the log table, and 92 when I am locating in the 0 column is 9638, and mantissa is always in decimal. 9638. When located 92 in the column of 0, when located in the column of 0, when located is coming 9638, and as I have to write the mantissa with decimal, so it will be 0.9638, 1.9638. I have to copy the figures carefully, minus coming to the third number, that is log of 127, log 127. Again I have to locate characteristic and mantissa. For the characteristic we have to keep the simple rule, either I can turn it in the scientific notation. This is the number in hundreds. In order to bring in the definition of the scientific notation, a part must be in within 1 and 10. In order to bring a part within 1 and 10, I need to bring the decimal after 1 or between 1 and 2. So how many left moves? 2 left moves. So characteristic, or the simple way is that the characteristic of the number which is more than 1 will be 1 digit less than the number of digits in the integral part. So characteristic will be 2. And for mantissa part, what I have to do, I have to make the 4 significant figures. So as the question is having only 3 digits with us, so I will be locating 12 in the column of 7, and when I am locating 12 in the column of 7, 12 in the column of 7, this is giving me 1038, 1038, 12 in the column of 7, 1038, and as I have to write it in form of the decimal, so it will become 2.1038 and minus 1 by 5, and log, I hope my working is coming in camera, this is 246. Again, what will be the characteristic? 3 digits before the decimal, so the characteristic is 1 digit less than the number of digits in the integral part. So characteristic will be 2. And mantissa, for mantissa part I have to locate 24 in the column of 6. So what I will be doing, that when I am locating 24, this is giving me 3909. So this will become 2.3909. Okay, now what I have to do, let me go up, log of x equals to 1.9191, and then I have to divide 1.9638 by 3. This gives me 0.6546, 0.6546 minus 2.1038, and 2.3909 by 5. This is giving me let me write down the calculation somewhere, 0.4781 and 8. And as we need to take 4 digits, so this can become 4782 minus 0.4782. Okay, now what we are going to do is that first let me add up these two positive numbers, 1.9191 plus 0.6546. This gives me 2.5737 minus 2.1038 plus 0.4782, 2.582. I have to take away 2.5 2.5737, and this gives me, let me confirm it, 2.5737 minus 2.582. I'll recheck this calculation. This is giving me minus 0.0083. This is giving me minus 0.0083. Now, as this is a decimal part and it can never be negative, so what we are going to do is that we have to add nearest whole number and subtract as well. So it can take the form minus 1 plus 1 minus 0.0083. Okay, and now what we can do is that this is minus 1 and I have to add 1 to this, and this gives me 0.9917. So it will take the form that log of x equals to 1. Negative will be written as 1 bar 0.9917. Now, in order to get value of x, what we are going to do is we have to take the antilog of this number, antilog of 1 bar 0.9917. As this is the log, and log of any number consists of two parts, characteristic and mantissa. Characteristic is -1. I will be discussing the role of characteristic later, and the mantissa part is 0.9917. Now, what we have to do, students, that we have to locate 0.99 in the column of 1 and then in the mean difference column 7, but in antilog table. So, let me hold my book carefully and keep some ruler so that I should not miss the value. 0.99 is the extreme value. 0.99 will have to be located in the column of what? In the column of 1. Okay. When I am checking 0.99 in the column of 1, I am getting 9795, and in the mean difference column of what? 7. This is giving me 16. Add them up. 6 and 5 11, 9 and 1 10 and 1 11, 7 and 1 8 and 9 9811, and this is in form of the decimal. And now it's the time to discuss the role of the characteristic as well. Characteristic helps us in placing the decimal in antilog part. So, as the characteristic is negative, so that means that there is no 0 after the decimal. So, the answer will be coming 0.9811. I hope you are really clear about this question, and let's move to the last part of this question. And let me first confirm the data from the book. I always advise it to my students that you have to please check and recheck your question before solution, that if there is any problem with the question, you can correct it in the beginning. This is 438 cube and then multiplied by square root 0.056 upon 388 raised to power of 4. Okay. I hope, students, you are really clear that how to solve these all questions. These all questions require the understanding of the laws of logarithms and how to take the log of any number, and what is characteristic and mantissa, and how to find the characteristic in case of log, and what is the role of characteristic in antilog. These questions have to be really clear to all of my students for better understanding of this, one of the most important exercises of your board examination. So, first step, I hope all of you know that we have to suppose that this number which is given to us is x, and this is 438 cube of this, and multiplied by 0.056 and divided by 388 raised to power of 4. 388 raised to power of 4. And now we have to take log on both sides. These 2-3 steps are common in all of the questions. So, you have to have the good command on these all steps. Log of 438 cube, I can turn this radical sign in the fractional index 0.056 raised to power of 1 by 2 divided by, I have to take the log of the whole quantity 388 raised to power of 4. Now at this stage, students, you have to wait and recall that in what form the question is. Question is in form of the fraction, and numerator is containing the product of two numbers, and they have the powers or index as well. So at least three laws have to be really clear to you. So first of all, I am going to apply the de Vienne law of logarithms, that log of m over n will be equal to log of m minus log of n. So according to this law, the question will take the form log of 438 raised to power of 3 multiplied by 0.056 raised to power of 1 by 2 and minus log of 388 raised to power of 4. One of the law we have applied. Now if we look at this part of the question is containing the product of two numbers. So the second law that we are going to apply is log of m multiplied by n equals to log of m plus log of n. That product law of logarithm of two or three numbers says that we have to take the sum of their individual logs, and log 438 raised to power of 3 plus log 0.056 raised to power of 1 by 2 minus log 388 raised to power of 4. Okay. Now what to do? It's not the end of the story. We need to learn one more law, that is log of m raised to power of n equals to what to do with this power or index. I have to bring this power down, log of n. Okay, now these three laws have to be really clear to all of my students. For better understanding of this exercise, I am highlighting this portion because these 3 or 4 laws are the common laws for almost all of the parts. So according to power law, because I have to bring down the power in every part, 3 log 438 plus half 1 by 2 log 0.056 minus 4 log 388. Okay, now we have applied all of the laws which are possible for this question, and now it's the time to take the log of these numbers. So what we can do is, let me draw the line here first, so that my students should not mix working with the other part. The first number for which we have to take the log is log 438. We know that the log of any number will consist of how many parts? Characteristic and mantissa. So for the characteristic purpose, we have to see that either we can we have to express this number in scientific notation. And what is the rule for expressing this number in the scientific notation? That I have to divide and multiply this by 100. This will become 4.38 multiplied by 10 raised to power of 2. So power of 2 is characteristic. One of the way is this, and the other way is that characteristic of the number, as this number is greater than 1. So the characteristic of the logarithm of the number which is greater than 1 is always 1 less than the number of digits in the integral part of the number. Here in the integral part of the number we have 3 digits, so characteristic will be 2, because according to the rule that characteristic of the logarithm of the number which is greater than 1 is always 1 less than the number of digits in the integral part. For Mantissa purpose, what we have to do, we have to make 4 significant figures. Here we have 3 digits only, so 43 has to be located in the column of what? Column of 8. So when I am looking 43 in the column of 8, let me hold my book and ruler both carefully. 43 when located in the column of 8, these lessons may be taking a long time because they require to check the log tables as well. So please you have to watch these all lessons with patience. Okay, 43 has to be located in column of 41, 43 has to be located in the column of 8. Column of 8, this is 8, 6415, 6415, okay, 0.6415. Mantissa is always in decimal, so the log of this number will become 2.6415, and this part is done. And then I have to go to 1/2, and then I have to check the number for which we have to find the log is log of 0.056. And now what will be the characteristic and what will be the Mantissa? For the characteristic purpose, either you can turn it in form of the standard form. This will give me 56 raised to power of -3, and then I have to bring the decimal between 5 and 6. So I have to multiply and divide this number by 10, so it will give me -2. Otherwise, the rule for the characteristic of the number which is less than 1, because here the number which is given to us is less than 1. Recall the rule, that what is the rule for the characteristic of the number which is less than 1 is that it's always negative, and 1 more than the number of zeros, 1 more than the number of zeros immediately after the decimal point of the number. 1 more than the number of zeros immediately after the decimal point. So either you can apply this rule, as this number has 1 0, so the characteristic will be negative, and 1 more than that, so it will become -2. And for Mantissa purpose, what we have to do, we have to make 4 significant figures, and as we have only 2 digits, so 56 will have to be located, students, in what? 56 will have to be located in column of 0. 56 when in the column of 0 I am locating, this is giving me 7482, 7482, 82, and as we have to write the Mantissa in decimal form, 0.7482, and the log entire value will become 2.7482. And moving to the last part, -4, and the number for which we have to locate the log 388. For 388 the characteristic is 2, because this number has 2 digits in the integral part, and the characteristic of the number which is more than 1 is always 1 digit less than the number of digits in the integral part. And for Mantissa part, I have to turn this number into 4 significant figures, and then I have to locate 38 in the column of 8. And when I am locating 38 in the column of 8, I am getting 5888, and as the decimal Mantissa is in form of decimal, so what I have to do is that I have to place the decimal, and log of this number will become 2.5888. Now the easy part has started, that I first have to solve these all numbers which are given in the question. This will become 3 into 2.6415 plus half. This negative characteristic for the calculation purpose will turn it -2 plus 0.7482 minus 4 into 2.5 and 888. Now what we can do is that we can divide, or first let me solve these this part of the question. This is -2 2 minus 0.74 2 minus 0.7482, and this gives me 1.2518. 3 into 2.6415 plus half and minus 1.2518, and this will be coming as it is 4 into 2.5888. Then 3 has to be multiplied, 2.6415 multiplied by 3, this gives me 7.9245, 7.9245, and then 1.2518 divided by 2 gives me minus 0.6259. I have to copy the figures carefully. Minus 4 into 2.5, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, minus 10.3552, 10.3552. So let me go up over here. Log of x equals to 10, and first let's add up these two negative values. Plus 0.6259, yes, this is 6259, and this gives me 7.9245 minus 10.9811. I have to take away, I have to subtract 7.9245, and this gives me minus 3.05 and 66 log of x. Again we are getting the negative answer. So in order to make my mantissa part positive, my decimal part positive, I have to add and subtract the nearest whole number, like minus 4 plus 4 minus 3.0566, and this will be making my mantissa part positive. And then I have to subtract 4 from this, and this gives me 9434 minus 4 plus 0.9434. So log of x can take the form 4 bar, because we have to write the negative characteristic in the form 4 bar 0.9434. And now in order to get the number, I have to take the antilog of 4 bar 0.9434. So as we know that this is the log of some number, so 4 bar is the characteristic and mantissa is 0.9434. Role of characteristic will be discussed later, and then I have to locate 0.94. Let me hold the book. 94 in the column of 3 is 8770. 8770. Always recheck your values and keep ruler under your value, and in the mean difference column 4, this is giving me 8. This is giving me 8. And then what we have to do is that let me reconfirm this. This becomes 8778. 8778. Now what is the role of characteristic here? Role of characteristic is that it will be helping us in identification of and the placement of the decimal. Okay, so as the characteristic is minus 4, so it's negative. So what we are going to do is we have to add 1 to the characteristic, and it will give me minus 3. That tells us that between the decimal and the number there has to be how many zeros? 3 zeros. So the number required number will be 0.123877 and 877 and 8. I hope you are clear that how we are making the use of characteristic in the placement of the decimal in antilog part. Students, watch and understand these all lessons properly, because they are one of the most important lessons of your metric examinations. Please watch my lessons, like, share and subscribe the channel, and press bell icon to get the notification of every lesson in time, and don't miss the next class, because in the next class we will be discussing the use and application of the laws of logarithm in everyday life. Thank you very much.